What's up, guys? It's Brian from Ashra Hub. It's about 9 a.m. Eastern Time, February 13, 2018. We're coming to you with a brand new trading video for today. Lots to go over. I'm going to try to keep it as short and succinct as possible. But first, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, upvote, resteam if you guys are on YouTube. Would love to subscribe and then follow. And if you guys are on Steam It and or DTube, would love to follow there as well. An upvote would be very gracious, and a resteam there too. So let's get right into it. So we're at a lot of critical junctures, as you can probably see, with a lot of the headlines that at least we have on our videos here. And I'm going to get into it, but first I want to show you something that somebody had on our Facebook trading team. He knows who he is. I speak to him from time to time on Facebook Messenger and stuff. And he had drawn this bottom line right here, and this is great. This is a lot of things we do for much bigger picture types of analyses, and this is great. Work zooming out. He connected this point, and this point here, and I can't help to think that this bottom line has something to do with this top line right here. For some reason, the two just seem to go together really nicely, like two peas in a pod, and maybe that's something we just need to keep an eye on from a longer term perspective. But good work there. Next, I want to mention is that the QQE indicator, and I mentioned this before, has crossed over to positive territory, and this is on a daily basis. So that's why our sentiment on a long-term basis is starting to become a bit more bullish. On a short-term basis, it's a bit bearish. And I'm going to show you here in a second a little bit more what we're looking at. So let's zoom into a 4-hour basis. And actually, let's do an hourly basis. It's going to be easier to see everything. Okay, so done some work here. A lot of this stuff I actually remove before I do videos, just because it gets to be super messy. But let's see if we can make do with it right here. I'll probably actually end up just deleting some of this like this. Okay. So we had this wedge, this upward rising wedge, this upward facing wedge, and the market has decisively broken down through that. So let's go ahead and delete that there. Also, this line here, which was very similar to the wedge, I'm just going to delete that there too. So we have something else which is super key, and what that is this line that's right here, which comes from the bottom, and that's one of the reasons why it makes it super strong, is the fact that it comes from bottoms, like major bottoms. Like any lines that are drawn from major bottoms and major tops are strong. They're significant. Sounds pretty obvious, but I just wanted to put it out there. So it touches here, and then this is one of the things we were looking at late last night. Is it going to go ahead and bust through here? And it's done that. And now it's trying to break back above it. Now, one of the things I want to show is just from an Elliott wave count basis. One of the things that makes me on a short-term basis a bit bearish is the fact that these impulse or motive waves, same thing, are really not that strong. They're really not that strong at all. So let's just count this one here. This is clearly a 5 wave, and I'm going to count this 1, 2. We can count this as a 3, 4, and then we're going to have a 5 somewhere over here. It just doesn't. This 3 should have been much stronger. It should have been much stronger, and that's one of the things that just makes me think that on a shorter term basis, maybe a little bit more bearish of a scenario. And that's one of the reasons why we're thinking about this as being an ABC correction. That's why we're kind of pointing in that direction. Now, if this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, then this 4 should have 3 waves. This 4 right here should be an ABC correction. And yeah, I could say it's an ABC correction. I could definitely go ahead and would agree to that. Now, there's another way to look at it where this now is basically the beginning of a 1. We're going to have a 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and that would be the C of the ABC correction. It's difficult to say what's going to happen. If this is really ABC, then the bottom of this has crossed above the 1. In other words, crossed below the 1. We don't like to see that, especially with Elliott wave. You don't like to see that. The bottom here has crossed below, significantly below the top of the 1. So that leads me to believe that maybe this isn't an ABC. Maybe this wave 1, if we zoom in, can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it can. So next, what I try to look at is, okay, what's exactly happening right now? If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then this should be an ABC up. Well, we're probably going to end this video before we actually know what's going to happen, especially with 52 minutes left in this bar right here. But if this could be a 5 wave, and then this could be a 3 wave. It could be a very strong 3 wave where the 2 comes back up over here. All right, if the 2 comes back up over here, this could be a bearish wick on the top of this triangle, right? I'm sorry, on the top of this, resistance line. Now, this resistance line now is not only being played in the market as kind of a channel, as we've had it for quite some time, right? We've had this resistance line as, kind of a bottom of a triangle, or like a channel, as it was being used right here. But it is also being used now by the market, by everybody thinking that this is the neckline of larger Head and Shoulders, which really hasn't confirmed yet at all. So people that are trading the market could think that, oh, this is the Head and Shoulders, and now we've broken above the head, and it's going to try to go ahead and run up, and that could be kind of like a bearish wick, where really it's just the 2 wave coming up, and then the 3 is going to shoot down. We're going to have a 4 and a 5. So these are all scenarios that we are thinking of. There are obviously more scenarios that we're thinking of, but I get the feeling that people don't like long videos. So, what is our thought process? Our thought process is we're going to be watching these Elliott waves pretty quickly. In the event that this starts coming down, and we'll go ahead and we'll look at this on like a 30-minute basis, okay? In the event that we start seeing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so that's starting right here, then there's a good chance that we're going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down, and this larger ABC correction is coming down. Another way to count this is that this is an A, we're going to have a B, and we're going to have a C coming up. That's another way to count this. So I don't mean to confuse everybody, but there's a lot of different patterns going on at one time, and in particular when it comes down to critical junctures like this, you really need to be aware of as many as possible. And these are a few of the top ones that we are looking at right now. So with that said, we're going to leave it there. If you have any questions, let us know. And yeah, happy trading.